Hi guys, Scott Fishman here for Wrestling Inc. Today I have a special guest that's very near and dear to my heart. We go way back to the days in South Florida and Miami. She's a former women's champion, former Divas champion, and she's slowly but surely making appearances again for pro wrestling appearances. Layla L. Layla, how are you doing today?
Hi, Scott. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I think the last time we spoke or met in person was about 8 years ago during SummerSlam. So this is a real treat for me.
Yes, it's been such a long time. We knew each other, what, since 2006, right?
Yeah.
Was it right? I think
Yeah,
2006.
2006.
Yeah.
We go. I
That feels like,
remember.
sorry.
No, I was gonna say I remember writing the articles leading up to the Diva search when you were just a competitor in the competition. So that was a big moment for me. And then also I remember you coming to the office, the Herald office, and we did like this not mock, but we did like this makeshift photo shoot at the Cracker Barrel, which is like right across the street from the Herald office. And then we drove to the movie theater, which was interesting because I remember I have this photo of you with the Marine, John Cena's first when he was the first Marine movie, and then you have a photo in front of it. So that
Oh, wow.
yeah. So those moments just stick out to me. So
Yeah.
so
No, it was great times. Great times.
yeah,
We had a
great
great
time.
time. Right? Yeah.
So tell everyone, it just seems like after so many years, you stepped away from pro wrestling for largely. I mean, we didn't hear much from you. I mean, on social media, of course, and Instagram, you'd post things here and there. But, it seems right now you're starting to make appearances again, especially, with all this whole pandemic, but now everyone's slowly starting to come out of it. What just tell me about the thought process and kind of slowly kind of dipping your foot back into the pool per se and making these appearances again.
Yeah, I mean, I took a break. I really just needed a break for myself. Like I was with WWE like for 9 years. So it was like I just needed a break and it was great. And I was supposed to do some appearances and I kind of backed out. I felt uncomfortable. I wasn't sure. Like I got kind of scared of being in the public eye, to be honest with you. I didn't want attention. I didn't want, you know what I mean, any part of it and stuff. But then I met Bill, and he works for Wrestling Inc. And he came out and did my first appearance with me and made me feel very comfortable. And it was just fun, lighthearted. And so I thought, wow, why not? Why not? Plus, I wanted to see the fans again because on social media, like a lot of fans were like requesting, why aren't you doing appearances? Blah 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 blah. Are you going to come back to wrestling? I'm like, no, but maybe appearances. So it just happened just like that. It just naturally happened, and I'm glad it did because it's so nice to see the fans again and just feel the warmth of the wrestling, fans and the support and that. Like I missed that. So, but I like it that I could just go in for a couple of hours and then I can leave again. You know?
But it's interesting that you say that, you don't want the attention. I mean, what was it? I mean, you were so used to it with WWE. Was it just because it's been so long since you were kind of in that environment? So you're kind of worried how you kind of how it would be? I mean, that sort of environment again, or what would you say was that? What made you think that way?
I think honestly, it's just like growth. A person when you grow, I always wanted a lot of attention. I always demanded a lot of attention from a very young age, and finally, I just kind of got it. It's like, you know what? I really don't want the attention. I don't want to be like, I don't want people looking at me. I want to sit back and observe and stuff like that. And not only that, like I was getting old. Like I'm older. You know what I mean? I'm midlife right now, and it's just like
I would never know
those
that.
days are gone. You're so sweet. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like you get to a point as a woman as well. As a woman, it's really hard to age in the public eye. It really is. And I didn't want that for myself. I didn't want to be out there. I really stayed too long, to be honest with you. I think I should have retired at least by maybe 3 years before I did.
Wow.
So that really was a thought process for me. And I don't want to get hurt. I didn't want to get injured. Like, you know what I mean? It was just like in my head, I was kind of nervous. Like my time is gone. My time, I loved it. I appreciate it, but my time has passed. And you have to accept that and move on.
Well, when you say, you thought about retiring 3 years earlier, why do you feel that way? And then just was there how many points? What kind of kept you going in those years after? I mean, you seem to reach, even more success during those years. That was some of your standout years.
Yeah, I think what it was is that when I look back now, I see myself and I'm like the last few years I was there, I just felt like I looked kind of like old, like compared to the other girls, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like 10 years, maybe 12 years older than most of the girls in the locker room by then. So that's the reason. And not only that, I feel like I was fighting so hard, like because you're so used to like the grind and keep going. Don't let them say no. You just keep pushing forward, keep pushing forward. And I think I got caught up in that. Instead of going, hold up, step back, let me think about this. Like I'm going to be 38. You know what I mean? Like I think that it's time to let it go. And it was just hard because I just got used to wrestling all the time and fighting, like fighting for my role all the time. That it was just hard to give it up, kind of thing.
Hmm. Yeah, I totally understand. Was there something that you didn't get that you really were fighting for that you never got the opportunity to do? Because you mentioned, wanting having these ideas and maybe wanting to pursue them forward. What were one or two maybe things that you can think of that you really were pushing for?
Um, and I think it didn't have anything to do with wrestling. I think
Oh,
it was
okay.
I wanted to be a total divas. Like I really wanted to be on that. I think, and I love reality shows and stuff like that. So I did want that, and I did get that obviously. And so that's one thing I wish that I could have done. I really do, but things happen for a reason. It just wasn't meant to be for me, and I feel fortunate that I've attained so much. You know what I mean? I attained so much in my career that sometimes no, you have to take it. You can't get it all the time. So, you know.
Yeah, I'd say you did pretty well for yourself during those years. But
Yeah.
as far as you mentioned the age discussion, which is really interesting because right now age is a hot topic when it comes to pro wrestling. Specifically, when you look at all the other AEW, WWE, they're depending and leaning on these older superstars, these veterans who have come back. You've seen Goldberg and Sting, guys in their 50s and 60s, but then you see a case where it's like a Mickey James who wants to contribute and be on the show and is a veteran. Do you think that women, even after all this time, are viewed in a sense where they can still contribute just as much as the guy, like a Goldberg or Sting, in a sense that they can still they bring name value? And but do you think the companies are looking at the women differently? These veterans like Medusa and just ones that are out there.
No, I don't. I don't think so. I think that the men are treated differently and they can age and they're able to be like still used in the ring, still work and but for the women, not really. The only one you said is like Mickey James. I don't think, like if she was there, I'm saying full time. I'm not talking about just coming in and having a run and then leaving. Like I get that. That I can see that happening with most of the past divas and you know what I mean, who are older and stuff. But I just think women get treated differently, to be honest with you, with aging. I just do. I really do.
I mean, like I see when I look at the Royal Rumble, I think of, I see Victoria coming back and I'm like, she's in amazing shape. She could still have this one last run. It's amazing that WWE doesn't, approach her about that, or maybe they have and she just isn't for it, whatever the case may be. But it's just interesting how there is almost like a different standard when we're talking about age here. So,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. So tell, kind of update people on what you've been doing. I mean, how is the life, transitioning to regular everyday life, like the simple things like going to the grocery store and things like that when you're not in the public eye. I mean, it's something that you wanted to have and now you are able to be living that life. So what have you been up to the years? What are some of the projects or things that you've been working on? Or I think I read that you were doing real estate.
Um, no, I just got my real estate license, and then of course, when you get your real estate license, if you want to like sell a house or anything like that, like a house kind of thing, then you have to put it with a broker. And I guess it just got out and got muddled that I was like real estate, and like, it was, you know what I mean, whatever it was. But no, I haven't done it. I do have my real estate license, and I may use it in the future. I don't know, but it was something I wanted to do, and the one thing that I did was when I retired, like I sat down and I said to myself, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not traveling. I'm not leaving these four, like literally, if it's 5-10 minutes away, I'm not going. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just wasn't going to travel. I was just
Right.
like done with that. So that was something that I got to do, and I just got to relax at home. I got my puppies and my husband, and I was like cooking, and you know what I mean, just enjoying just the I don't want to say normal life. I don't know what a normal life is, but just enjoying something that I wasn't able to do when I was always on the road and always traveling and, running around like a chicken that's lost its head because you're just like, you don't know, you just don't know where you're going, what's next, what's this and stuff. And it was great. I loved it. But I also enjoyed not having to do that.
Well, I think people don't understand also with your career is not only with wrestling, you also were Miami Heat, you were a Miami Heat dancer. You also were on cruise ships. So that probably you were gone for long periods of time. So I think all of that probably led up to how you feel about, being home.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like I left London, I think when I was 18 years old, and I was like, got audition. I auditioned for Carnival. I got that job. I had a great time. Because I'd never been anywhere. I was always in London, and got to travel the world, dancing and stuff like that. And it was like 8-month contracts. So you just 8 months, and then you get a month off, and you got 8 months again. And it was great. I did that for 5 years. I had a blast, and then moved to Miami. I was very fortunate. Miami Heat was awesome and I had to travel, it was a lot of work. It wasn't like the most financial, secure job at all. It was just, but it was a great job. I loved it. I had a great time. I got to see, I sat courtside, you know what I mean? And watched games. Like I couldn't even believe that. And then when I joined WWE, like the traveling was just, the first year it wasn't like that for me because I was just so new. But once I got in and I was like wrestling a lot more and doing like the live event stuff like that, like honestly, like sometimes I wouldn't even be home. I'd be home for one day, like seriously. And then some days we'd be gone for 18 days straight, international thing, and you just never knew. And I loved it. You know what I mean? I was young enough; I could do it. It was a great moment in my life. But it has a lot of wear and tear on you. Like you know what I mean? It just does because you're constantly just like. And the older you get, I'll speak for me personally because I don't know for anybody else. The older I got, I was finding it really hard to recover, like really hard to recover, really hard to stay in shape, because you need sleep to stay in shape and you need like certain foods when you get older, and it was just hard to maintain. So, but
Where are you keeping your Miami Heat ring, your championship ring? Didn't you got one, right?
yeah, I do. I have it in Miami. My friend has it. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
come on.
I got one, and I wasn't there for the actual parade because I was auditioning for the Diva Search when that happened.
Oh,
Because it
wow.
all like crossed over, yeah. But when I came back to Miami and stuff like that, maybe like a couple of weeks later, they got me the ring. I got my ring, and it just had L on it, which I loved it, EL. Because I didn't know I was gonna get a ring. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very awesome. Very happy for that moment. I don't even show it off. Like I was too scared to wear it. Like, oh, I got it. But I couldn't
Well,
do
especially
it.
in Miami, I don't know if that would be very safe.
No, I don't think so. No, not in Miami. No way.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned the Diva Search and then you mentioned wanting to be on Total Divas because the Bella Twins were also I think it was the same year that you won the Diva Search.
Yeah.
And then and here they are and they become they're part of Total Divas, and then you beat, I believe, Nikki Bella, was it for the women's championship? So it seems like a little intertwining there, and then we see them in the WWE Hall of Fame. How much do whether it's the Bella Twins or how much did you stay in touch with the other women? Because I feel like it's like this tight-knit sisterhood, even without being away from the ring, that you guys would stay in touch because the bond was so tight.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly stayed in touch. Like, I'll be honest with you, when I first like left for a while, I kind of just like disconnected. I didn't really stay in touch with everybody. Like certain people, of course, and I still in touch with certain people. You know what I mean? But sometimes we grow apart. You know what I mean? Like you just grow. You're in a different space. It's a different, But I always have love for the girls that I worked with. We will always have that. Like just the other day, I was doing an appearance and Caitlin Celeste walked in and when we embraced each other, it was just like, you're right, we have that bond. We have something that, I don't have with somebody else. Like we share something that we experience together. And seeing Brooke the other day too, like that was really, I haven't seen her in maybe 10, 12 years. So that was really nice to see her and hug her and catch up and stuff like that. So by doing appearances, I'm going to catch up with all the girls, hopefully, like maybe not everyone, but eventually I will get to see everyone and do my rounds. And talking about the Diva Search, we had groups that were going in, right? We had to wait in the curtain area. They got groups. Brie and Nikki were in the same group. I was sitting down in the chair, really scared, and they were standing there. And they were like one of the, like, we spoke briefly. That's when we first kind of interacted and stuff like that. So it is. It's crazy. It's crazy. And congratulations to them for being Hall of Famers. I mean, that's amazing. You know, it's great. And I just the Total Divas too. It was great too for them. Really great. They totally broke barriers and opened up more fans to see women wrestlers and open up their eyes to something completely new that people didn't even know about if they weren't hardcore fans.
How many times through the years did WWE or another wrestling company reach out to you to possibly return to the ring, whether it's the Women's Royal Rumble or another opportunity like that, or even just coming as an appearance for like one of the anniversary shows for Raw? Like, did they reach out to you through the years? Or?
Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah.
Was there one time in particular, like, oh, maybe I should have did that?
No, not yet. No, I don't know why. No, not yet. You know, like, who knows? I'm not going to say never because I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, if it happens organically. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, I'm okay with either way, to be honest with you.
Do others reach out to you that are in the business right now for advice or guidance? Or, I mean,
no, I don't think I give anybody advice. I mean, little things that are like tidbits just to be wise and smart so you don't, you know, before you leave, and, you know, make sure you have an exit and stuff like that. But I think, no, I don't think I give anyone advice. And not only that, I think everyone's kind of got it together now because you guys have social media, you know what I mean? They have different platforms that they can do many things that we didn't have at that in our era. You know what I mean? When we were really like, we didn't have that.
Yeah. What about as far, I know I've talked to Michelle McCool in the past, leading up to the Undertaker documentary, and I brought you up and she was just so complimentary of you, and just hopefully, you know, she was like, oh, maybe one day a LayCool reunion. But I mean, I think with a convention, you guys would be such a big draw of that. I mean, have there any been talk of you guys working together in some fashion, you know, not inside the ring per se, but in other projects?
I would love it. I love Michelle. I would love to do a reunion with her. I would love to get back together for a signing, maybe in Texas next, you know what I mean, next year, since she's already in Texas, kind of thing. And who knows? Who knows? I would love to reunite, even if it's just for one day or just, you know what I mean, something like that. And I think I'm hoping and I'm assuming, and just by the requests that I see on my social media, a lot of people really want to see us back together, or at least an autograph signing and stuff like that. So I don't know. And I will always be complimentary to Michelle. I will always admire her, respect her. Like, she helped me so much. Like, honestly, like, I don't think LayCool would have even happened. Like, she really took her time to help me out. And also Finley, he was a huge part of it. You know what I mean? And Michelle and I are bonded for life. No matter what happens, we are bonded for life because we share that. We share that LayCool. It was amazing. It was like 2.5 years, right? I think 2.5 years.
It was a great run for sure.
Yeah.
Did some firsts too, and the tables match. And but as far as your overall career, I mean, when you look it up, when you think back, I mean, what is the one thing that you're most proud of to sum up your run there, like as a whole?
LayCool, for sure. Definitely LayCool. And most of LayCool, I just feel like that was the highlight of my career, to be honest with you. And it was just, it worked. It worked. It really did work. And so I definitely say LayCool. Even the final match with Michelle, she, you know, the final match where she was like, loser leaves, like, she gave me that. She did that to me. Like, she said, here you go. Like, and that was the most touching thing that, like, I've experienced in a long time. And I always remember that when I didn't want her to leave, I was very, like, sad, you know, I really didn't want her to leave. And I just remember, like, I was in Gorilla because I left first, and I was just waiting for Michelle, you know, to come back, you know, because we're emotional. This is it, you know. And Taker was standing right there, and she came through the curtain, and he said, I'll let you guys have your moment first. And we just, like, hugged each other and just started, like, crying, because it was like the end. I get so emotional about it because it was the end of just, like, we had a great run. It was just that, you know, we were divas that really didn't get anything. You know what I mean? at that era, we really weren't given much, but what we were given, we made the most of, for sure. And yeah, I'll always remember that forever.
I just love the, you guys had such a great chemistry. And then also just the, you mentioned not being given much, but you really maximized your minutes, whether it was on the microphone or on commentary. Like a lot of the stuff I see now with, for example, like Bailey or something like that, you guys are having fun on commentary too. And beyond just the matches. So you guys work with the complete package, I think, in many ways. So it's great that, you look fondly back on those memories. And I mean, I think there'll become a time in, years down the road where you're going to both of you will get a renewed appreciation for what you guys put in your contributions.
I thank you so much for that. So you never know. You never know. Hopefully, that's all I can say. Hopefully,
Well, you mentioned appearances that you're making. Later this year, there's Extreme Expose. I don't know, how many times you guys have reunited before, but this is an exciting thing. Kelly, and Brooke, and yourself coming together. Tell me what those appearances are, and just tell me what it means to you to kind of be able to come together and have fans have this opportunity to reminisce with all three of you.
So first I'll tell you it's called Legends of the Ring, and it's in New Jersey, October 2nd. I had to write it down because I wanted to make sure I gave the right information. And it's Pro Wrestling Fest. And I'm trying to think, Extreme Expose, it's got to be over 10, 12 years that I think that we've been together, you know what I mean, as a unit. And this will be the first time that we will be all together. So hopefully I think the fans will come out and want to see Extreme Expose. I'm not dancing. I don't care what anybody says. If Brooke and Kelly want to dance, knock yourselves out. I'm not going to dance, but I'd love to reunite with them and just have a laugh, you know what I mean, and meet all the fans. Sorry, excuse me. And I think the girls are both excited. Like we've been like group texting, and you know what I mean, just like we're gonna do this. It's exciting. Like pictures. Like we've got so many different ideas that we want to do, and I think that it will be a great day. So if anybody wants to see Expose, I think you should come out and see us, because that might be the first, and maybe not be the last. The first. That's what I'm saying. The first. Maybe the first.
Yeah. I think what's great about the three of you is you started out as this dance group who weren't seen as serious wrestlers, and throughout the years you all proved yourself in the ring at different points. So it just, more than pretty faces, right? I think the old adage is, so it was good to see all three of your evolution and see how far you've come. So it'll be great to see you all three together. And you're still taking other bookings as well. I believe I saw the email address on your Twitter page. So for those who are interested in following you and staying up to date, just talk about some of the things, some of the ways that people can follow you and get in touch, and even promoters who are interested in booking you. And then also just talk about just some things that you're looking forward to in the next year, as far as just in life in general.
Okay, so obviously you can follow me on Twitter. It's at MSLAYEL, Miss Layel. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at LayEl. So it's Layel. And for any bookings or anything like that, it's laylabooking@gmail.com. And I'm doing an appearance at the Icons of Wrestling on September 18th in Philadelphia from 10 till 4 p.m. So that's going to be exciting. I also have some other stuff lined up and future stuff coming up during the year. I just don't want to announce it right now. But if you want to hear any announcements that I'm making, just follow me on any of my social media handles, and you will know exactly what I'm going to be doing. And I'm also writing a book, which is taking me a while because I'm such a perfectionist, and I'm like, do I want to share this? Do I want to share that? Like I'm being a little like timid, a little anxious, but I really want to write this book. It's not just about wrestling. Like it's not a hate book or anything like that. It's just a story, my life story, how I was all the way in London, you know what I mean, Morocco, and I ended up being here in America working for the biggest wrestling company in the world. And so I just want to share the journey, and also some stuff backstage, and you know, things that happen, good things, bad things, and just give people an insight to what I experienced when I was working with WWE. And also for you guys, so you have a little bit of an idea of what it was like the Diva era. You know what I mean? Like, not what it is right now, but just what we kind of have had to go through and what we experienced, and, you know, made us stronger, made us tougher.
Wow, that's incredible. I can't wait to check that out. You definitely have a unique story to tell. And I think there's not many women out there who have written books. I mean, there are some, but there aren't many. So just to have more voices out there, I think it's going to be, it's great to see. Like the Bella Twins also had their book come out. So having another story, everyone's story is unique, and especially yours. So definitely looking forward to checking that out.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to get it done. It's just, you know,
Maybe
I'm
this
going to
year.
get it done.
Maybe this year.
No, for definitely this year.
Oh,
For sure. Definitely this year. Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we can reconnect during that part, and maybe we can do a revisit here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just want to say thank you, Scott. I never ever got to say it publicly, but I just want to say thank you so much. You really was very helpful for me when I was in the Diva search and stuff like that. So I will be indebted to you always, and I will always be grateful for you. So thank you so much, Scott.
Oh,
anytime.
thank you so much. So often you write these stories and you don't see the impact, or you see the impact, but just to hear that, that means a lot to me. So thank you so much, Layla. I appreciate it.
For sure. Thank you.
All right. Well, that's it for now. So thank you so much, Layla, for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I want to say goodbye to everybody too, whoever is listening or watching this interview. Just want to say stay healthy out there, stay safe, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the future.